For 50 years, Ron Howard looked like Hollywood's unbreakable man. The red-haired kid from Mayberry, the beloved teen from Happy Days, the Oscar-winning director with the calm smile and spotless reputation. But what if that smile was a shield? What if behind the cameras, the interviews, and the applause, he was fighting battles no one ever saw? Because today, for the first time, Ron Howard reveals devastating new details. The private heartbreaks, the family struggles, the collapse that nearly ended his career, and the one decision that haunts him to this day. This isn't the Ron Howard Hollywood showed you. This is the truth he kept hidden for decades. He was born Ronald William Howard on March 1, 1954, in Duncan, Oklahoma, into a family where dreams were currency. His father, Rance Howard, an actor who changed his name before joining the U.S. Air Force, and his mother, Jean Spiegel, who trained as an actress, were already living in the world Ron would eventually conquer. The moment he opened his eyes, his life was already orbiting around cameras, scripts, and bright lights. At only 18 months old, he appeared in The Western Frontier Woman. While most toddlers took their first steps on carpet floors, Ron took his under lights, between crew members and equipment. When the television boom swept across America, the Howard family didn't search for sunshine. They packed up and left Oklahoma for California because that's where opportunity waited. A toddler couldn't understand this decision, but that move sealed his destiny. As a young child, Ron worked on Playhouse 90, learning to hit marks and follow direction before he ever sat at a school desk. By the time his brother Clint Howard was born in Burbank on April 20, 1959, the Howards were no longer spectators, they were part of the machine. His father, Rance, took more than 300 film and television roles, not because he craved fame, but because he wanted to stay close to his son's world, guiding him and protecting him. Then came the moment that changed everything. On October 3, 1960, America met Opie Taylor on The Andy Griffith Show. Ron was only 6 years old. On paper, he was just another child actor. But on screen, something else was happening. His father refused to drop him off and leave. Instead, he challenged the writers, telling them the father-son scenes didn't feel authentic. Andy Griffith listened. That handshake between Andy and Rance transformed the show's heart. The relationship between Andy Taylor and Opie became a reflection of the real one. Between Rance and Ron, the world adored Opie. But that love came with pressure. Ron went to Robert Louis Stevenson Elementary, then Jordan Junior High, then John Burroughs High School, trying to live a normal life while the cameras chased him. He played park league sports, ate fish sticks at home, and memorized scripts in the living room. Childhood was slipping away quietly, replaced by responsibility wrapped in applause. One moment stands above the rest. The 1963 episode Opie the Birdman, 9-year-old. Ron delivered a performance so raw and emotional that seasoned adults stood stunned behind the camera. Andy Griffith said it was adult-level timing. Ron wasn't acting. He was reaching into real sadness, holding it, and then dropping it once the camera cut. No one teaches a child that. It's something a child learns because he must, even then. Ron felt trapped in what he later called a golden cage. The studio provided a small classroom next to Stage 40 at Desilu Studios. California law demanded 3 hours of school a day, with a welfare worker watching. His classmates were adults rolling dollies and adjusting microphones. At lunch, he sat beside Andy or the prop guy. Ron loved acting, but he missed the freedom other children took for granted. Riding bikes, baseball games, real homework in real classrooms. In 1962, he joined the cast of The Music Man as Winthrop Prue, but he was terrified. Ron was tone deaf. He struggled with dancing. During rehearsals, he whispered to Shirley Jones, "I can't do it." She calmed him, and the crew filmed him from the knees up to hide his awkward steps. But the performance charmed millions. What the world didn't see was how terrified he had been, how hard he had worked to look effortless. At 13, Ron appeared in The Monroes, a rugged Western shot in the Wyoming Rockies. It lasted only 26 episodes. Its cancellation hit him like a personal failure. It was the first time he felt the sting of rejection, a pain that stayed with him. In 1968, young Ron Howard was offered an audition for the Brady Bunch, a chance that could have rewritten his career, but his parents refused. Their rule was unshakable. One parent must always be home from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. They wanted balance. They wanted Ron to have a childhood untouched by the jaws of Hollywood. Ron respected the decision, and that single no quietly saved him for something far greater. Because in 1974, at just 19, Ron walked into Gary Marshall's office for Happy Days. He didn't rehearse. He didn't perform. He simply acted like Richie Cunningham, ordering a cherry phosphate as if he'd been doing it his whole life. ABC doubted him, worried the former Opie Taylor from the Andy Griffith Show couldn't pass as a teenager. But Gary Marshall fought for him, and Ron won the role over 35 other actors. That contract would change everything, but success cast a long shadow. By season 5, Ron felt trapped, a 23-year-old man stuck playing a cheerful boy from the 1950s while the outside world was burning with Vietnam and protests. Ron begged for deeper stories. ABC refused. They wanted nostalgia, not truth. He felt suffocated, and from that pressure came ambition. He wanted control. He wanted to direct. So when Fonzie Mania took over and ABC tried renaming the show Fonzie's Happy Days, Ron Howard drew a line in the sand. He threatened to walk. The network backed off, keeping the title intact though Henry Winkler received top billing. Quietly, but firmly, Ron had won. Then came the breakthrough. In 1977, Ron directed his first episode of Happy Days. He arrived with a meticulous shot list and executed a complex 90-second tracking shot. In just 2 takes, the crew was stunned. Ratings soared. ABC gave him more episodes. A director had officially been born. That same year, Ron struck a daring deal with cult filmmaker Roger Corman. He'd star in Eat My Dust, only if he could direct a film next. The result was Grand Theft Auto, co-written with his father Rance Howard. Costing just $600 to $1,000, it earned $15 million, with Ron shooting guerrilla style, crashing cars, defying the rules, and proving himself through sheer grit. Through it all, his high school sweetheart Cheryl Alley held the family together. They married in 1975, with Henry Winkler as best man and Andy Griffith watching proudly. As Ron's world expanded, Cheryl grounded him through long nights, travel, and endless pressure. The hits came fast. Night Shift launched Michael Keaton. Splash turned Tom Hanks into a star. And in 1985, Ron and Brian Grazer created Imagine Entertainment, earning dozens of Oscars, Emmys, and billions globally. But triumph carried scars. In 1991, Ron left to film Far and Away in Ireland, returning months later to a daughter who didn't recognize him. The guilt stayed, and the pressure only grew. In 1995, filming Apollo 13 pushed him to collapse after 90 days of 18-hour shifts. The crew wore mission control shirts when he returned, carrying him through, off-screen. The heartbreak deepened. His brother Clint Howard fell into addiction. Ron delivered an ultimatum: get help or lose him. Clint chose rehab, but Ron carried the guilt for years. His was the real Ron Howard: success, collapse, sacrifice, and the relentless will to rise again. And then came the biggest loss of all. On November 25, 2017, Rance Howard died at age 89. The man who taught Ron how to act, how to work, how to endure. The man who appeared in so many of Ron's films was gone. Only months earlier, Rance's wife Judy had passed. Ron said losing his father felt like losing the compass that guided every creative instinct. In 2020, Ron directed Hillbilly Elegy, a film that earned him a Razzie nomination, but brought Glenn Close multiple award nominations. He also created the documentary Rebuilding Paradise, about the 2018 Camp Fire, which devastated the town where his mother-in-law lived. Ron said it was the hardest project of his life, harder than Zero Gravity, harder than Explosions, harder than Failure. And then came Eden in 2025, starring Sydney Sweeney, Jude Law, Ana de Armas, Vanessa Kirby, and Daniel Brawl, a $55 million survival thriller shot in the Galapagos Islands, inspired by a story Ron found while on vacation. It opened to just $1 million. Ron admitted the disappointment filled him with anxiety and made him question his abilities. Again, even after 50 years of success. But perhaps the most important moment of Ron Howard's life came not in a studio, but on a school campus. In 2025, on the 50th anniversary of his marriage to Cheryl, Ron donated a bench to John Burroughs High School, the place where they first met. Standing beside the woman who had carried him through every high and low, Ron finally let the truth slip out. He still regretted how much time he lost, the dinners he missed, the young years he didn't see. the moments that slipped away while he was directing Worlds for Others. So today, as Ron Howard mentors new storytellers and shapes the next generation of film, he carries every lesson carved into him by sacrifice, loss, and love. His journey proves one truth: greatness always comes with a cost. If this story moved you, like this video, share it with someone who loves Hollywood history, and subscribe for more untold stories of the legends who shaped our world. Thanks for watching.